I am Charlotte Jackson, and this is Game Changer, the podcast that empowers you to align with your true self, mind, body, and spirit, because that is where the magic happens. For those of you who don't know me, I'm a certified holistic coach, Reiki master, and EFT practitioner, and I'm a recovered crystal meth addict. And everything I share with you are things that have already helped me, things I've learnt, or things I am learning along my journey. So welcome, and thank you so much for being here. It is my only wish that this episode finds the person that it is meant to find and empowers them to change their life.
Hello, and welcome back to Game Changer. We are here. It is episode 2. I am so excited to be back, and I'm so excited to have you with me as well. Today, I want to talk about the power of affirmations and how you can use affirmations to reprogram your subconscious mind and ultimately change your life, because your thoughts are so powerful, and the things that you think about yourself and the things that you think about the world as well actually dictate the experience that you have, also known as your life. So let's get into it. Affirmations are something that massively helped me on my own journey. I was obviously a crystal meth addict for 4 years, and when I realized how powerful our words are and our thoughts are, and started to actually change the things that I was thinking consciously, oh my goodness, it genuinely was, excuse the pun, an absolute game changer. It was crazy how quickly my life transformed when I started to implement affirmations into my life. And at the time, I actually didn't even know what affirmations were. I didn't even know that what I was doing was using affirmations. But now when I look back, I realize and I understand the power of it all. So it's something that I just feel so passionately about, and I just want to share that knowledge with you. So what are affirmations? You may have heard people talk about affirmations before. You may have kind of seen it on social media and things like that. Affirmations are essentially phrases that you repeat to yourself over and over. A lot of them start with I am, because you are affirming something that you are to yourself. So before we get into affirmations and the ways that I personally find them really helpful to implement into life and how to use them and integrate them into your everyday, I want to spend a little bit of time talking about the power of our words on our minds and our bodies. So you may have heard the expression before, neurons that fire together, wire together, right? Our brains are so intelligent, and they are always trying their best to make us as efficient as possible. Unfortunately, our brains don't know if the thing that they are helping us be more efficient at are things that are helpful or detrimental. They can't distinguish between that. They just do their job, which is to do things as efficiently as possible. So if you think about something, for example, like learning to ride a bike or learning to drive a car, when you first started doing this, it was difficult, right? You had to learn, and obviously you're teaching your body how to do something, but your brain is also firing these things together, these neurons, they're firing in your brain, and eventually the neurons wire together so that when you decide to ride your bike or get into your car, you just know what to do. You don't have to think about it. In fact, I would say the majority of the time you're actually on autopilot in terms of actually doing what you're doing. You're not having to think about it. So this is an example of your brain wiring together in a way that is extremely helpful and beneficial. You're not having to use any thought power whatsoever to drive your car or to ride your bike once you've learned how to do it. Unfortunately, this can also happen. I say unfortunately, I suppose it could happen in a positive way as well, which is what we're talking about with the affirmations. So when you think something repeatedly over and over and over again, it becomes wired into your brain. So in the terms of negative thinking, you could think of this like being stuck in a rut. So when you get stuck in a rut, you come across those people in life sometimes, and it does not matter what has happened that day. If you ask them, hey, how are you? They will always reply, yeah, fucking this, blah, blah, blah. They are miserable, right? But actually, genuinely, it's not really their fault, because they have had these thought patterns so many times that they have actually wired that way of thinking into their brains, and they've become stuck in a rut. Their brain has literally created a groove, and they are stuck in it. That negative thinking is wired. It is hardwired into their operating system. They cannot help it. And that's why it actually takes quite a lot of mental strength to pull yourself out of those kind of ruts. When you are just in a real, and I'm not talking about just having a bad day. I'm talking about having a bad week, having a bad month, having a bad year. It takes so much strength, because you are having to actually rewire your neurology to get yourself out of it. So that's why the way that you think and the way that you talk to yourself are so important and so powerful in the terms of the way that they affect your mind. They also affect our bodies. So the words that you think and the words that you speak affect your body. And there's a couple of really cool kinesthetic experiments that you can do to actually try this out. So right now, if you're in a safe place, if you're not driving, try this out. If you get your index finger and your thumb on both hands and put them together, and then loop them together. So almost like, I guess it looks a bit like an infinity symbol or a figure of 8. You've got your two fingers and thumbs looped together. I hope that makes sense. It's hard to explain on a podcast. And if you pull them as hard as you possibly can, but try and keep them together at the same time, right? If you do this and you think something like, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, it'll be so strong. Just do that now. Just think, I love you, and try and pull those fingers apart, and you'll see they won't come apart. And then I want you to do the same thing and just think, you are disgusting. Do it now. And those fingers are weaker and they pull apart more easily. It's actually crazy. Another kinesthetic experiment is, you actually need someone else to do this one with you, but if you raise your arm up to shoulder height out in front of you, and you get a friend of yours to push down on it whilst you're resisting it, and you just resist and resist, and just, you don't even have to say anything out loud, just think in your head, I love you, I love you, I love you, and then think something negative, you're disgusting. And I promise you, when you have that thought, you are disgusting, your friend will be able to push your arm down. It is wild. So our bodies actually get physically weaker when we think negative thoughts. And to take this one step further, there is actually this Japanese scientist called Dr. Emoto, and I will put all the links to things that I talk about in the show notes. So if you do want to refer to something, if you're driving and you can't actually look into this right now because it is so fucking fascinating. When I heard this stuff, it actually blew my mind. So there is a Japanese scientist called Dr. Emoto, and he did an experiment with water that was absolutely fucking mind-blowing, fascinating. I cannot believe that this stuff is not general knowledge, honestly. Like, when I learned it, I was just like, what the fuck? Like, this should be taught in schools. I'm not even joking. So he basically discovered that water can be shaped by its environment, the thoughts around it, and emotions, right? So he got water and he started to look at it under a microscope and look at the structure of it. And he took photos of it and checked the structure. And water can have a structure that looks so beautiful, like a snowflake, imagine. And he started to expose the water to different words. And he did this in different ways. So, for example, one of the ways he did it was literally by just writing the word next to the water. So he put the words like love, gratitude, thank you, peace, angel, all these beautiful words next to the water. And the structure of the water was just these amazing looking snowflakes. Like, you can Google this, Dr. Emoto, the water experiment. As I said, I will put this in the show notes, but you can Google it. It's fascinating. So they were these beautiful snowflakes, right? He then did the same thing with words like evil, you disgust me, you're a fool, okay? And the water, when he looked at it under the microscope, when it was exposed to these words, it looked horrible, disgusting, disintegrated. There was all this crazy like mixed upness to it. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know the technical word, but anyway, it did not look like a beautiful snowflake at all. It looked fucked. That's all I can say. Look at the pictures, you'll see what I mean. And he tried this out in so many different ways. So that was just with written words next to the water. Crazy. Then he tried it with thoughts. So people directing their thoughts at the water. Guess what? Same thing happened. The kind, beautiful thoughts structured the water to make it look like snowflakes. And then the like horrible words, the things that were nasty and rude and mean and evil, made the water all shaken up. He also did the same thing with prayer and polluted water. He got some polluted water and it was all toxic and brown and disgusting looking. And he had someone pray over it for an hour and the structure of the water changed. It's just absolutely wild when you think about this. So why is this important? Well, our bodies are made up to about 70% of water, right? They're made up of about 70% of water. So if that's what words do to water when it's just sitting there, imagine what words can do to your body. And I've already explained, how it can weaken our bodies in terms of strength. But when you combine that with, what it does to your mind and then how your emotions can influence your body, it is just so crazy how it all links together. And I'm telling you now that the way that you talk to yourself and the things that you surround yourself with and the things that you listen to, right? Even the music that you listen to, it is so fascinating how much it can actually affect our minds and bodies. And it is something to be mindful of 100%. So now let's get into the different ways that I use affirmations and the ways that I think are the most helpful. There are lots of different ways that you can actually implement affirmations into your everyday life. And I'm sorry, I feel like I'm kind of fumbling my words today. It's because it's a little early in the morning and I've only just woken up. I feel like I'm not as flowy as normal, so I do excuse the fumbling of the words. But anyway, back into it, the ways that you can use affirmations to help yourself. So one of the ways that I first started to use affirmations, and this is when I'm in the depths of drug addiction, right? And if you have known anyone who has been an addict, if you are an addict, if you were an addict, if you know anyone that has struggled in that kind of a way, even someone who has struggled with things like anxiety and depression, or anybody who is stuck very deeply in something that is a painful experience, when I say that I was a drug addict, that I was at rock bottom, right? My thought patterns back then were the opposite of kind to myself. I had a lot of love to give, but I was giving it to everyone but me. And the kind of thoughts that I was having were just ridiculous. And it was interesting because I've always journaled, love journaling, still do it to this day, have done it since I was probably 6 years old. I fucking love journaling. If you don't journal, just side note, get on it. It's amazing. But I had never really thought objectively about what I was saying to myself on a daily basis and the things that I was talking about. Why am I so fucking stupid? Why am I like this? Ugh, I'm disgusting. Like just all these just nasty things, right? And it eats away at you over time. And as I was trying to get clean, and when I say trying, what I mean is I had decided, and I knew, and I did always know this, but I had decided this life was no longer for me. So if you are at that point of your life, whether you are literally at the rock bottom and living in a fucking crack den like I was, or whether you are just waking up every day and you just feel like this, ugh, I fucking hate my life. Why am I like this? You get up, you go look in the mirror, ugh, I'm so disgusting. Ugh. If you are at that point and you're just like sick of your shit, and you're like, right, that is it. I'm actually done with my shit. I'm over it. I've had enough. I am sorting this out. Because you, my friend, I'm telling you right now, you absolutely have the power to change your life and to change your mind, right? You. No one else can do it for you. I can help you. I can show you what I did. I can tell you what I did, but I can't do it for you. But you have the power to do it. And that is so exciting. I find that absolutely fucking amazing. It's like, wait, what? I have the power to change my mind? Hold on a second. I have the power to change my life? Wait, no one else has to do it for me. I get to do it. I am the only one who can do it. That is the most fucking empowering realization of life. But anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. So if you were at that point where you're like, I've had enough of my shit. I'm up to here with my shit. I'm up to here with my negative thinking. I'm done. I'm reprogramming my mind. I'm changing my life. Let's do it. And I'm telling you now, if I can do it when I'm living in a crack den, you can do it wherever you are. So let's get on to it. So this is the way that I did it. Number one, I stuck up Post-it notes in places that I knew I was going to see them every day. So the classic places for these would be like on your mirror, in your bathroom, on the back of doors, in your car, just anywhere that you know that you go every single day. Bedside table, maybe in the morning you like stick a Post-it note on your favorite coffee cup and you stick it in front of the kettle before you go to bed. So when you come down in the morning, there is your Post-it note stuck on your coffee cup and you're ready to go. And what kind of affirmations are you going to use? Well, really it's up to you. But I would say the standard classic ones, because this is things that every single human being struggles with, would be things like, number one, this one I used when I was getting clean. I love you. How often do you tell yourself that you love yourself? Because I don't know about you, but when I was growing up, my mum used to use that as a negative thing towards people. And she still says it now, actually, and it's very interesting to me. She will say about someone, ugh, that person really loves themselves, as a negative thing. Like, ugh, they're so conceited, they're so arrogant, they love themselves. So I grew up thinking that to love yourself was a bad thing, right? I've never used to tell myself I love myself, because if I did that, it meant I was a conceited, arrogant bitch, right? Well, actually, I'm here to tell you that it doesn't mean that. And if you do not love yourself, you actually don't really have the capacity to love anyone else. You can only love other people to the depth that you can love yourself. So if you want to be the best partner, the best mother, the best father, the best daughter, the best son, the best friend that you can be to other people, I'm telling you now, it all starts with you. You have to learn to love yourself, and then you can give that love to other people. And I'm not joking, it fucking just beams out of you. When you love yourself, it is so genuine and heartfelt. The feeling that you have, it just glows out of you. It really, really does. So that is just such a basic one, but it is fundamental. I love you. And look at it every day. Another one, I am enough. That's a great one. I am worthy. I am capable. Another one, I forgive you. Thank you. All of these things, beautiful, right? I sometimes even have things like, you are beautiful. You're amazing. You are wonderful. It doesn't matter what they say, right? And some people will say, oh, like if you don't believe them, it's not like it doesn't really work. You have to really feel the affirmation to believe it. Blah, blah. I'm telling you right now, when I was sitting in that crack den, I did not love myself. I did not think I was amazing, and I certainly did not think I was beautiful. But I started to tell myself these things every single day, and little by little, I actually did start to believe them. So don't dismiss it. It does feel weird because it feels like, oh, like I don't actually think that I believe that. But do you think that you deserve someone to say that they love you? Would you say to someone else, I love you? It's not like a crazy thought. So just whack it up there and give that one a go. I then graduated from using Post-its to actually physically writing on my mirrors. This is one of my most favorite things to do. I love it because you can get really creative with it and you can make it look really pretty, and it feels kind of like childlike as well. So your inner child is super, super happy as well. But I bought myself a load of chalk erasers. So they're essentially pens that look like chalk, and you can write on any surface with them, like a mirror or glass. You can write on anything, tiles, and they just wash off with warm water. And they look really cool, if I do say so myself. So I started to do that. And this is what I did when I was getting clean. I moved into my own apartment and I just wrote on all my mirrors, I love you. You're amazing. And we were in lockdown, right? So I was not going anywhere. I was walking past these fucking mirrors all day and all night. Every morning I blinked my eyes open. The first thing I saw was, I love you. Do you know how fucking beautiful that is? To have your first thought in the morning, I love you. Imagine how much that is changing the structure of your brain, because you're wiring those neurons together, because every single morning you are waking up and you are hearing, I love you, as the first thing that goes into your brain. Like, that is amazing. And that is another reason, just a little side note, try not to look at your phone first thing in the morning. Try not to scroll social media first thing in the morning, because when we wake up and when we go to sleep, our minds are so susceptible to what we're listening to. And if you can make the first 20 minutes of your day just these really beautiful, positive, loving thoughts going into your mind before you hop on social media and you start scrolling, and you start getting into that whole comparison trap where you're looking at other people and you're thinking this and you're doing this and maybe you're judging people, we all do it, blah, 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 blah. You don't want that as the wiring that you are programming your mind with, okay? So think of when you wake up and when you go to sleep as your mind being like a little baby's brain that is a sponge, that it is absorbing absolutely everything that you put into it. So make sure that when you are waking up, the first things that you are thinking are these things. And the easiest way to do that is put next to your bed or somewhere that you're going to see this beautiful thing. Just, I love you. It is so simple. Trust me. I love you. I love you. I love you. Maybe if I say it enough, it will start to seep into your brain. I love you. Thank you for listening to my podcast. Okay. So writing on the mirror is a great way to do it. Another thing that I have started doing, and this is one of my favorite ways, and it's almost like the lazy person's way to do affirmations, right? I record and listen to my affirmations. So I write down my affirmations for the month, whatever they might be, certain things that I'm kind of struggling with or things that I feel like, I noticed that pop up last month. I really want to kind of hone in on that and rewire my mind around it. And I record these affirmations out. You can just do it on a voice note if you want to on your phone. You can find some on YouTube. You can also, which I will put another link in the show notes as well, head over to my website www.charlotte-jackson.com, and there are some resources on there, and some of those I will put up a list of affirmations, like suggested affirmations that you can look at. Obviously you don't need to use all of them, just pick the ones that resonate with you. Some will resonate, some won't. Choose what resonates. That's what I always say whenever it comes to any of these kind of practices. Always just choose what resonates. You do not need to do what I have done just because I'm saying it worked for me, right? You are a different person. You are your own person. So pick the things that resonate. If I'm saying post-its and you're like, ooh, I hate post-its, I do not want post-its stuck around my house, don't do it. If you don't want to write on your mirrors, don't do it. But put these affirmations somewhere that you can see. Maybe they're on the background of your phone. Maybe they're on the background of your laptop. Maybe they're on a whiteboard that you have at your desk. Who knows? You know you, so you pick what works. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. So if you head over to my website, you will find a list of affirmations on the resources. And there will also be some tracks that you can download, the affirmation tracks that you can listen to. And this is what I do with my affirmation tracks, right? Because as I just said, but when you wake up and when you go to bed, your mind is like a baby's brain. It is like a sponge. It is absorbing everything. It is like, yes, give me all the information. So what I do is I listen to my affirmations as I'm falling asleep. And when I wake up, I press play and it's the first thing I listen to. It's like the easiest way to hack your brain, because you are literally in and out of like a dream state at this point, and it is just seeping into your subconscious all these amazing affirmations. I love you, I am wonderful, I am capable, I am kind, I am caring, whatever you want to think. I actually used affirmations to reprogram my thoughts around what I thought about men, because I have experienced incredibly toxic relationships with men. And I needed to rewire that and remind myself that men are safe and they are kind and they are caring. And genuinely, I have absolutely transformed my thinking when it comes to what I think about men just from using affirmations. So honestly, that is one of the easiest ways. Go to my website, www.charlotte-jackson.com, and download one of the affirmation tracks and just listen to it before bed, or listen to it when you wake up, or both. And I would recommend doing that for 21 days to really get it deep into the brain. So yeah, let's just go over the ways that you can use affirmations to help you. And another way to do it, some people like to use affirmations by repeating them out loud. If you're going to do this, I would try and just use affirmations like habit stack it. So maybe when you're brushing your teeth, because you do that every day, you pick an affirmation like, I am capable, or whatever it is that you feel like you need to hear. I am worthy. I am enough. It's going to be okay. Whatever it might be, the thing that you need to hear, like it is safe to receive. It is safe to feel good. Whatever it could be, like it doesn't matter. It is so personal to you. You know what you need to hear. I might have said something whilst you were listening that you're like, fuck yes, that really resonates. My brain needed to hear that. My heart needed to hear that. If you felt that whilst you were listening to me speak, bam, that's your affirmation. So think of a thing that you do every single day, like brushing your teeth or having a shower or whatever it might be, and repeat the affirmation to yourself whilst you're doing that activity. So you just tell yourself, right, every morning when I brush my teeth, I am going to tell myself that I am worthy for 3 minutes. There we go. I am worthy, I am worthy, I am worthy. And you just repeat it to yourself whilst you're brushing your teeth. And then it becomes a habit. And then every day you are telling yourself that you are fucking worthy, because I'm telling you now, you fucking are. So you can tell yourself that, and it will seep into your mind, and slowly you will see your life start to transform. Because when you believe that you are worthy and that you are enough, everything starts to change. The relationships that you have change. You start to put up boundaries. You start to take less shit from people. You start to be drawn to people who are healthier for you and better for you, and situations that are healthier for you, jobs that are better for you, all of these things, because you know that you are worthy and that you are capable and that you are enough. So trust me when I say that affirmations are just absolutely life-changing. So the easiest ways that you can use them are, number one, stick up post-it notes in places that you will see them. It is so simple. It is so easy. If you want to take it to the next level, like me, and get a little bit creative, buy yourself some of the chalk markers and just write your heart out over your mirror. Write it out every day. I want you to be sitting in front of your mirror, like when you're getting ready in the morning and you are looking at something that is saying, I am worthy. I am beautiful. You know, like remember who you fucking are. You are fucking amazing. Do not let anyone else like come along and change that in your brain. And if someone has, and if you are stuck in that rut and you've been telling yourself this negative shit for too long, it is enough. It is enough. It's enough. It is time to change your life. It is time to take back control of your mind. And it is in time to remember who the fuck you are, and that you are enough, and that you are worthy, and that you deserve to feel good, okay? And I promise you, these are going to change your life. Affirmations are going to change your life. If you don't already use them, they are absolutely life-changing. So, the third and final way, which is my favorite way, the little hack, the cheats hack. Listen to them before bed and after waking up. Make it the first thing that you do. Either record your own track, just pop it on voice notes, and then just listen to that every single morning, every single evening as the first and last thing that you do every day. Ugh, fucking life-changing, amazing. Imagine how beautiful your body's going to look under a microscope as well. The water in your body is going to be, I'm a snowflake. Okay, I'm getting distracted. So if you don't want to record your own ones, like I said, just head over to my website. I will put a link in the show notes, and then you can actually just download one of my tracks. I've got ones for self-confidence, and I'm going to upload a few more as we go along as well. But you can just choose those and then just listen to them. And that's it. That is it. It is so simple. Who knew? No one ever told me this when I was at school. Hey, by the way, if you just stick something up on the wall, you will actually be able to transform your entire life. What the fuck? Honestly, This stuff should be taught in schools. I'm so surprised that it's not. I might even start teaching it in schools. But anyway, I hope that I have inspired you to start using affirmations in your everyday life. It is so simple and it is absolutely life-changing. And remember, my friend, you absolutely have the power to change your fucking life. So go and own it and go and change it. I'm so excited. I'm right behind you. I'm supporting you all of the way, and I can't wait to hear all about how affirmations start to change your life. You can reach out to me and connect with me on Instagram at I am Charlotte Jackson. If you enjoyed the show, then please do leave a review and rate it, and I will catch up with you on the next episode. Thank you so much for listening.